Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian. I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada. I hope everybody is having a great start to this week. I hope you're all happy and healthy. Let's get into it, everyone. Today we are looking at IELTS speaking part 1. And we're going to practice for some Band 9 fantastic answers. Welcome, Kyber. Welcome to our members. Hi, Carolina. Welcome to our chat moderator. Hi, Anton. Kamulidin. Wheeler. Good to see so many students in this class for this speaking part 1. I will give you strategies. We're going to practice questions and answers. I will call some students around the world in this class, and we're going to do some real live practice of IELTS, and you will have a chance to get a band score estimate and feedback. It's going to be great, and it's going to help you tons for your next IELTS exam to improve and get those higher band scores. All right, everyone. This lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS success. Make sure to visit us there for general IELTS. Visit us at gieltshelp.com on both of our websites. You can use the code R4TYJ, that's just right by my head there, to get a 20% discount. Our websites look like this. This is our academic IELTS website here, and we will be using this website today to chat with some students. There's a chat interface like Skype or like WhatsApp where you can practice with other IELTS students. You can click this big red button up here to join the premium IELTS package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. We have hundreds, if not thousands, of students that study with us every single day to improve their IELTS band scores. We are an official IELTS test registration center, certified agents, and world leaders when it comes to IELTS preparation. All right. Janiel says a little cracking on the voice. If anybody else is experiencing that, let me know. I'm just going to test my connection here, make sure that everything is okay. All right, maybe move the mic a little bit off my face. I want it to be good. All right, yeah, I'll keep checking with the voice, but it should be good. Let me see if I've got some other audio that's feeding back in here before we continue. I've got a couple people saying that. Okay, maybe I'm being a little bit loud here. Let me. Okay, decrease the sensitivity of the microphone. Yeah, I can see that it's a bit intense. Okay, just a sec. I can move the mic even further. How about like this now? Okay. Okay, maybe this will be a little bit better. All right. I'm not sure why the mic is so sensitive, but anyway. All right, even better maybe. Okay. All right, Janiel says it's perfect. Okay, Janiel, I'll keep my voice down a bit. Maybe I'm yelling too much. All right. Okay, everyone, for general IELTS, check us out on this website. It's the green background here. Again, you can click this big red button above my head to join the premium package there. Again, it's just a one-time payment, so it's well worth it. It doesn't cost nearly as much as the exam, and you'll give yourself a chance that you don't have to sit the exam twice, which is always a good idea. Okay, everyone, so we've got a full week of classes this week. Today it's speaking part 1, and then we'll have speaking part 2, speaking part 3 tomorrow. We'll have task 1, reading. We'll have a question and answer session this week, so lots coming up. You can always check out our schedule on our Instagram profile, IELTS_AEhelp and GIELTS help. So definitely visit us there. And if you have questions, send me an email to adrian@aehelp.com. All right. Okay. Okay, everyone. So let's get into today's speaking. The speaking part of the IELTS is a 12-minute interview. Rarely does it go over 12 minutes. They have lots of candidates, usually on the same day. So, and it has three parts. It has the first part where you introduce yourself to the examiner, and the examiner will ask you some questions on a general topic about your hobbies or about sports. Today we're going to see some topics on traveling, okay? And then there's part 2 and part 3, and we're going to do those parts tomorrow. So you go to your IELTS exam early, at least an hour early, and you have to find some other candidates. You don't have to, but you definitely should find some other candidates to practice your English with. Make sure you're only speaking English on the day of your exam, okay? So you take some scripts with you. It's a good idea to have it on paper, some questions, not just on your phone. And then find someone and say, hey, do you want to practice with me, okay? And when you're practicing, really, really, really remember to practice always giving an answer, an explanation, and an example to your questions. And okay, so that's really important. You want to give nice, fluent, complete answers, okay? So always answer plus explain plus example. Now, if I want to make sure that I'm explaining my answers, how can I do that? So what's a good little trick to make sure that I'm always remembering to give an explanation for my answers? So if, for example, the IELTS examiner says, what is your favorite color? And I say, my favorite color is blue, then what can I say to make sure that that I remember to include an explanation? So Mi Yen says, add because. Yeah, exactly. So add the words because or since. Very good, Mi. Absolutely. Okay. So remember to add because or since, right? So I can say, my favorite color is blue because it represents life. The color of water is usually blue. The color of sky is blue. Okay, and then I want an example. And how can I make sure that I finish with an example? So if I want to make sure that I'm finishing with an example, what should I do? And here's a hint, don't say for example or don't say for instance. That scares the examiners. They think you're going to go off topic, okay? So how do I do that? All right, so Carolina says add the word like or just or last Sunday. Exactly. So add this kind of a smooth leading expression. So add the word just or add the word in fact is a good one as well. Or add the word like. Okay, and you can even practice using the word as I did last Sunday when I took my favorite blue hat to the football game, okay? So again, for instance, the question might be something like, what is your favorite color? And you say, well, my favorite color is blue because it's the color of life, it's the color of the ocean, the sky. These are all things I really love. Just the other day, I bought a blue pair of sneakers and I love their color. Okay, and then you stop, and that's your full Band 8, Band 9 score. Of course, avoid the word things. Okay, everyone, so let's get into it. We'll get into some questions. Let's warm up a little bit. Now, make sure that you're speaking. So this is a speaking class, and I always want to remind you to speak and repeat. So copy my language, copy my intonation, copy my pronunciation as much as you can. It's a good way to build your natural language, okay? All right, everyone. So repeat, repeat, repeat throughout this whole lesson when you hear me say repeat, and even when I don't. So here we go with IELTS Speaking Part 1 questions. When you get to your speaking exam, the examiner will call you in after you register. Okay, your first step will be to register for your speaking portion of the test. You go to a registration room. Make sure you're speaking English with the staff. They should be speaking English to you. That's the instructions, but sometimes they don't. I've realized that I've heard from other candidates. So just speak English to them, even if they tend not to, okay? Speak English to them and register. Be confident. By this time, you should have practiced with another candidate. And then you go into your IELTS speaking, and there will be an examiner who will be kind of like me, and they will say, welcome to the speaking portion of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner for this part of the test. I will give you instructions for each of the parts. This is candidate number 79512. We are currently conducting the exam in Tashkent. The time right now is 2 p.m. Now we shall begin. Okay, and then the first question the examiner will ask you is, may I see your identification? So, may I see your identification? Right away, give a nice full sentence answer for this one. Okay, so let's kick this off, students. Let's kick off this week. So, may I see your identification? Give me a nice full sentence answer to this question. Okay, Gurpreet says, sure, here's my passport, which I used for registration for my IELTS exam a couple of weeks ago. Very good, Gurpreet. That will work just fine, okay? Hadil says, yes, of course, here you are. Hadil, I would recommend finishing that off with at least saying, please take a look, okay? So, yes, of course, here you are. Please take a look. Show respect and show politeness right away in your IELTS speaking. This is a person that you've never met before, and just like any other professional that you're meeting for the first time, you want to be polite. Okay, Tanil says, yes, here you go, please, which I registered for my IELTS. Tanil, that's unnatural. You need to say it clear. So Tanil, you need to say, yes, here you go. Please take a look. This is incomplete. It's Tanil. This would be a fragmented sentence. So I'm taking Tanil's response here from the chat, and I'm going to adjust it because I've seen this kind of response before, and this is not correct. So yes. Okay. Here you go. Please take a look at my passport, which I used, there's a missing verb there, used for registration for this IELTS, okay? It's not just your IELTS, but it's more this IELTS, okay? So that would be a full sentence. You have to speak in clear, full sentences. Don't make mistakes on the first couple of questions because it just sounds really, really awkward, okay? All right, so here we go. Repeat after me. May I see your identification? Yes, here you go. Please take a look at my passport, which I used for registration for this IELTS exam. I would even finish with that. And then you're accurate, you're natural, and you're doing much, much better. Here we go. Next question, of course, while you're showing your passport is, what is your full name? So what is your full name? Again, give a nice full sentence answer for this one. Show your vocabulary, show that you can use respectful English, okay? All right, and give your full name, right? And tell the person what they should call you, because that will be their next question, and you can preempt that question. Preempt means answer it before it's asked. So Amarjeet says, my name is Amarjeet Singh. And then Amarjeet, if you say my name is Amarjeet Singh, the next question that the examiner will ask you is, okay, what should I call you, right? So Amarjeet Singh, my name is Amarjeet Singh. What should I call you, Amarjeet? And then you'll have to say, please call me by my first name, Amarjeet. But you can say that together with your first answer. Okay, Tanjil says, my name is Tanjil and my family name is Alim. Please call me by my given name, Tanjil. Okay, so explain that it's your given name, Tanjil. Please call me by my given name. And Tanjil, please don't spam. Only put your answer in once, all right? Bakrat says, my given name is Bakrat and my family name is Sharma. You can call me by my first name, Bakrat. You don't need to say just Bakrat. You say Bakrat, okay? Ikram John says, my first name is Ikram John and my last name is Sharipov. You can address me by my first name, Ikram John. That's fine. Very good. Yeah, so those are some good answers. Okay. Manish says, my first name is Sushil and my last name is Pokarel. You can simply call me by my first name, Sushil. Okay, yeah, and especially for these first couple of questions, I like using the word please, like please call me. Okay, here we go. Here's a nice answer by Juman. Let me just grab this one here. Okay, so this is what Juman says, and this is a nice natural way to do it as well. Practice different ways to say this when you're getting ready for your exam so you can really feel natural. Okay, so my name is Mirzan Juman, and you can say my full name. Okay, my full name is Mirzan Juman, just as it is written in my passport. And then instead of just call me, because he already says just as it is written, let's not repeat words in the same sentence. So please call me by my first name, Juman, and then you're good to go. Anybody know why I added the word full here at the beginning of Juman's answer? So why did I add the word full? Why did I feel that that was important to this answer? So again, the question is, what is your full name? And then I added the word full, so it's my full name is Mirza Juman. Why did I do that? What's my logic there? Okay. Yeah, so Hadil says, because it's in the question. Exactly. So always reflect the question. Always reflect the question accurately in your response, and paraphrase whenever possible. Okay, that will help to increase your lexical resource mark. So what's another way to say full instead of saying my full name? Okay, how can I say my full name without saying full but still including that piece of information? Pooja, good luck on your IELTS speaking exam tomorrow. By the way, students, we did release a brand new POV IELTS speaking video this morning. That's in HD. Definitely check that out later on the channel. Yeah, very good, Pranathi. So Pranathi says you could say my complete name. Okay. Yeah, absolutely, and it's very natural. So we'll say that to paraphrase full name. Okay. So my complete name is Mirza Juman, just as it is written in my passport. Please call me by my first name, Juman. And then you even have some paraphrasing, and now the IELTS examiner is thinking, oh yeah, this is a candidate who knows their English, and not only English, but knows their communication. So you're going to get a much, much better score, yeah. Kohi says you could also say my whole name. And yeah, that's another way you could say it as well, is you could say my whole name is, right? It's another good paraphrase of the word full. So my whole name is Mirza Juman, just as it is written in my passport. Please call me by my first name. By the way, the just as it is written is passive voice, and that's really nice as well. So I can tell that, okay, this student can use the passive voice, at least it appears to be this way. All right, students, so guess what time it is? It's time to do some voice calls with some of our students for this class so we can practice, get some more answers in and some more tips. So I'm going to call some of our students, Ramon, Shimran, Karandeep. I definitely see all of you there in the General English Help channel as well. So students, I'm now looking for volunteers to practice some speaking. I will give you a band score estimate according to the official IELTS marking criteria, and then we'll give some feedback. We're going to just do one question each. And hopefully we'll get lots of students today. So these are the steps for volunteering. First, you need to register a free or a paid account at aehelp.com. Okay, so I'm going to go to the website here and show you what you need to do. So this is our website, aehelp.com, and these buttons that are right above my head here, you can click on that. The red button, it's the paid version. The green button, it's a free trial version. Both of them are a great way to start. I think it's worth buying the course, but up to you. And then once you have access to your student account, you can click on the My Student account, which is right above my head here. You can see that My Student account way up there. And then when you're in the My Student account, you'll get a tour. You want to end that tour. And then here is the student partner speaking. That's just above my head there. When you click on that student partner speaking, it will say accept the terms. When you accept this, it means that you agreed to our fair usage policy. That just means you're going to be polite. You're not going to abuse the system. You're going to use it for IELTS practice. So you accept that, and then you can start speaking with other IELTS students. And there's some IELTS speaking scripts, by the way, up there as well. So you can get questions there. So here we have Jyoti, we have me, Shaheen, Oksana, Juan Pablo, okay, Trin, Anish, Nguyen, Carolina, Bandita. We have lots and lots of students. Students, all you need to do to volunteer is you can send me a message by clicking the blue envelope, and then you can say, I'd like to volunteer, and I'll pick some different students to volunteer. So click the blue envelope, send me a message. I think somebody just did. Mehul just sent me a message here. Okay, so Mehul says, can I try? Sure, Mehul. Okay, Mehul. Are you ready? So let's start off with Mehul here. And students, you will hear Mehul and you will hear me as well, so speak nice and loud and clear. Okay, and I'll take different students for different questions. So, and then students, when we connect, make sure to mute YouTube on your end so you're not getting feedback into your microphone, okay? So I'll remind you of that again. Make sure to enable your speaker and your microphone for your browser. Okay, so here we go. Let's call Mehul.
Hello.
Hi, Mehul.
Hi, sir.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, sir.
Awesome. I can hear you nice and clearly. That's fantastic. So, Mehul, may I ask, why are you taking the IELTS exam?
So, sir, I'm planning for masters from USA. So, the university over there requires some IELTS score.
I see. And what are you planning to do your master's in? So what field?
Sir, I'm planning for masters in business analytics.
Business and what was the second part?
Business analytics.
Business analytics. Okay, got you. That's amazing.
Yes, sir.
There's definitely a lot of
Yes,
job opportunities, I think, in the world for business analytics. So
yes,
it's
sir. Yes, sir.
yes.
That's why I chose this field.
Okay, great. All right, well, Mehul, so what we will do is I will ask you a question just like the IELTS examiner. Give me a full sentence answer, and then I'll give you a score estimate and some feedback, okay?
Yes, sir. I'll do my best.
Awesome. Okay, here we go. Where do you live?
I live in India, and specifically, I live in Indore, which is the centralmost part of the India, and it's famous for its street food.
Okay. All right, so that was really good. I would easily give you a band 7.5 for that. I can tell that you're quite comfortable with English. You use it often.
Sir,
Yeah,
to be honest, I am feeling confident because of this app only. Like, I try to communicate with people, and yeah, it is very comfortable for me. So, thank you to you.
awesome. That's fantastic. I'm glad you're using this interface. It's good feedback. Thank you. First of all, let's take a look at this answer. Okay, I think
Yes,
it's
sir.
I think it's really good. I think you can make it even better, and I'll tell you what you can do to push this answer to a band 9. So you said I live in India, and if you're doing the exam in India, you can even add naturally, like of course, like you can say I live in India, of course, because it's quite obvious if you're doing the test there, and if you look like you're from India, then you can say I live in India, of course. And then you said specifically. That word
Yes, sir.
specifically was really good. Okay, because that's very natural. So a native English speaker would say that as well, specifically. Like I would say I live in Canada, specifically on Vancouver Island in Victoria. So that word specifically was a really good connecting word. That was very good of you. And then you said, I didn't catch this one word because it's a little bit quiet. Maybe speak a little bit louder. You said in the north, or you said the word of the name of the city.
Sir, I said in the central part of India.
Yeah, and before that, I think you said the name of your city. What was the city?
Yeah, Indore.
Indoor. Yeah, that's what I thought was in north.
Yes,
Indoor.
sir.
Indor,
Yes, sir.
maybe. So you said I live in India, of course, specifically Indore, which is the central most part of India, and it's famous for its street food. Okay, that was good. What I recommend to you and to everybody when you get this question, because this is a very popular question for the introduction of where do you live. I recommend also giving your residence, like saying I live in a one-bedroom apartment or bachelor pad, or I live in a two-story townhouse or in a three-bedroom detached home. So give the actual like specific shelter where you live, and then the bigger picture of the city and the country, right? So you said I live in India, of course, specifically Indore, which is in the central most part of India. And here I would say, and I live in a two-bedroom flat with my roommate. Okay. And I probably wouldn't even say it's famous for its street food because that's a little bit off topic. So I'm not really asking you what your location is famous for. I'm just asking you where you live. So you want to be as specific to the questions as possible. And then I think with your English, you can get a really nice high band score, like band 8.5, even a 9 maybe, okay? So
Okay.
here's the question again. I'm going to read it, answer, and then I'll ask you the question, then you can just repeat, okay?
Okay.
All right, so where do you live? I live in India, of course, specifically Indore, which is in the centralmost part of the country, and I live in a two-bedroom flat with my roommate. Where do you live?
I live in India. Of course. Uh, sorry, sir. Let me try again. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I live in India, of course, uh, in Indore specifically, and I live with my roommate in a two-bedroom apartment.
Perfect. That was much better. So I could tell that you were thinking about what you're going to say, not your English, which is fine. It's okay to speak at that speed. That's still considered a Band 8, Band 9 fluency because I can tell that you're thinking about what you're saying and you're using
Yeah.
good, clear English
Sir,
and grammar.
apart from this, can I ask you another question like about the cue card in which like I have some problem
Let's
like
not let's
I
not go off topic, Mahul. If you have a question about the cue card, just send me an email about it, okay? And then we'll
okay sir.
definitely help you out. But I don't want to go off topic in this live class. I want to
Yeah,
keep
yeah, sir.
everybody
Totally,
focused on
totally
these
get you, sir.
questions, okay? All
Yeah.
right, Mahul, thank you so much for being the first volunteer in today's class and for showing everybody a great answer for this. Where do you live?
Thank you, sir.
Keep
Thank you so much.
practicing. You're very, very welcome. Okay, so that was Mahul. Everybody give Mahul a nice applause because he was very brave to be the first volunteer. And he was saying he's using this function on the website and it's really helping, which is fantastic. Okay. All right. There we go. Bakrat says, great, Mahul. And Kyber says, perfect, bro. Okay. So, yeah, and Carolina is saying to Mahul that tomorrow we're doing part 2 cue cards. So check that out. Okay, so we've got some more volunteers here. Let me take someone who appears to be new here. We have Fatma. Let me see if I can reach out to Fatma here. Okay, Fatma says, I would like to volunteer. Okay, Fatma, are you ready? Please don't call me. Okay. Let's try to reach out to Fatma. And again, students, just wait your turn patiently. I'll try to find different people at different times so everybody gets a bit of chance to get some feedback. And remember, this interface is available to everybody for free on our websites, okay? All right, so here we go. Here is Fatma. Okay, Fatma. Hello, Fatma.
Hello.
Hi. How are you
Hi.
doing?
Hi.
How are you, Fatma?
Good. Thank you.
Fantastic. All right. And where are you right now in the world?
I'm in Sudan.
You are in Sudan. Okay, that is definitely quite a ways away from where I am here on Vancouver Island. And how is the weather in Sudan right now?
It's very hot these days.
Can you give me the temperature?
It's in the afternoon. It could reach 30, around 30, 32.
Okay, so very nice. Okay, yeah. Always remember when you're in the IELTS, Fatma, to use that quantitative language. So when you're telling somebody it's very hot or it's very far or it's very small, always give a number. Okay, like it's 30 degrees plus, or it's 100 kilometers away, or it's only half a centimeter. So always remember to include those numbers, and that's a tip not just for you but for everybody. That's a really good way to boost your communication and your scores. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So having said that, I will now ask you an IELTS question. Just give me a nice full sentence answer, and I'll give you some feedback. How does that sound?
Okay. Yeah, good. I'll try.
All
Try my
right.
best.
Yeah, there's a very famous saying by Master Yoda from Star Wars. Yoda says, do or do not, there is no try. But anyway, that's
Oh,
just kind of
I'll
a
do.
side note. Yeah, exactly. You want to do, right? Don't try, just do. All
Maybe
right.
I'll try my best. I'll do
I'll
best.
do my best. Exactly. So
My
trade
best.
that word try for do. So instead of saying I'll try my best, I'll do my best. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about traveling. When is the last time you went on a trip?
Um, Actually, the last time I went on a trip was 2 years ago, before the COVID. I can say the pandemic spread of COVID. I that I went to Egypt. It's just in the north of Sudan. So I went with my family. in a trip to visit my uncle. He lived in Egypt, so we went to visit him, and it was a holiday, so we want to spend the summer holiday with him. Um, so yeah, we went to
Okay.
we stayed with my uncle in his house, and
I'll stop you there, Fatma, because at this point, the IELTS examiner would probably just interrupt you with the next question if you don't stop. So you have to stop. You have to kind of just, once you feel like, okay, I've answered the question, you want to stop, okay? All right, so your response would be like a band 6.5 to a band 7, depending on your examiner. So there can always be a little bit of, up or down with the score. But here, I think like 5 examiners from 10 would give you a band 7, and maybe 4 or 5 might give you a band 6.5, and there could be one that might even give you a band 7.5. It's hard to judge because your English is quite good, but you make some mistakes that definitely have a negative impact on the score. So let me show you how you can correct this, because I think that with your English, you should easily get a 7.5, even as high as a band 8, okay?
okay.
There's a couple of corrections, all right? So the question again was, when is the last time you went on a trip? And then you said, you had to think about it, which is not a surprise because of COVID. Many people don't really remember, right? You don't have to tell the truth. So you can just say last month, last year. It doesn't have to actually be the truth, okay? So you can say, okay, actually, and I really like the word actually. That was a very nice natural filler. That's, again, something that a lot of native speakers use to fill language, using the word actually. So you said, actually, the last time I went on a trip was 2 years ago before the COVID, and then you said, how can I say pandemic? Definitely avoid using how can I say, right? How can I say almost tells the examiner that you're not finding the correct vocabulary or grammar to express yourself. So you want to avoid that in good communication. It's like you're telling me that I have to take away a half a band from you because you're not able to say what you want to say. So don't say, how can I say? Instead, just keep the pause. So keep going with it. So before the COVID pandemic, right? So you can still finish it, just don't say, how can I say, okay? It's like there's an idiom for that. It's like you're shooting yourself in the foot, okay? So don't shoot yourself in the foot. I'll teach everybody this idiom while I'm doing this. So don't shoot yourself in the foot. Don't say things like, I don't know the word, or what am I thinking? So don't say things like that, okay? So don't shoot yourself in the foot. By the way, you can just say COVID much easier. COVID is a noun. So you can say, actually, the last time I went on a trip was 2 years ago before COVID. Much easier. Okay. And then you said, I went to Egypt. It's just in the north of Sudan. That's grammatically incorrect. So if you say it's just in the north of Sudan, it means that Egypt is actually a part of Sudan. So here, the preposition is very important, and I know that's really annoying when the preposition changes the meaning, but sometimes it does, so you have to be careful. So I went to Egypt. It's just north of Sudan. You have to take out this in. It's just north of Sudan because it's a separate country, right? So you have to actually cross the border from Sudan into Egypt. So I went to Egypt. It's just north of Sudan. I went with my family to visit my uncle. He lives in Egypt. You can say he lives in Egypt, but that's kind of clear because you're going to Egypt, so you don't need that part. So you want to be concise, okay? So I went with my family to visit my uncle for 2 weeks, and we had lots of fun. And then just stop there, okay? And that's it. So that's all you need to say for a question like this to get that high band score. So I'm going to say the question, the answer, and then I'll ask you the question again, and then just repeat the answer. Sounds good?
Okay, yeah.
All right, okay, here we go. So when is the last time you went on a trip? Actually, the last time I went on a trip was 2 years ago before COVID. I went to Egypt. It's just north of Sudan. I went with my family to visit my uncle for 2 weeks, and we had lots of fun. When is the last time you went on a trip?
Actually, the last time I went on a trip was 2 years ago, before COVID. I went to Egypt. It's just north of Sudan. I went with my family to visit my uncle for 2 weeks, and we had lots of fun.
That for if you, okay, as long as you say it like that, Fatma, you'll get a band 8 for sure. Okay. And maybe even more. So your pronunciation is fine. It's actually very clear. Your pronunciation could easily be a band 9 because it's clear. You don't need to sound exactly like a native speaker. You just have to be very clear. And your pronunciation is very clear. Your grammar is quite good, but just be careful with those prepositions. And keep up the practice, okay? Make sure to come back to this website and practice with other students whenever you have the chance, okay?
Okay.
All right, Fatma, thank you so much for volunteering. That is awesome. So that was Fatma, everybody. Give her an applause or maybe some thumbs up. She's very brave. Thank you. Bye-bye, Fatma.
Bye. Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Bye. Okay, so yeah, give her applause. And of course, everybody, while I'm doing this with other students, make sure to repeat and take some notes, okay? So the mistakes that candidates or volunteers are making, they're very, very similar across the board. So a lot of candidates tend to make similar types of mistakes, especially in that band 6, 7 kind of range, band 5, 6, 7 kind of range. So it's as long as you're paying attention and you're correcting those, you're going to do just great. Make sure to practice, okay? All right, so I see some thumbs up and some claps and everything like that. That's awesome. Okay, everyone, let me take another volunteer here. All right. So we have Kwavan Beck, and I absolutely cannot pronounce this name, so I'm very intrigued. I'm going to reach out to Kuvan Beck. There's a lot of names I can't pronounce, so I'm really curious on the pronunciation here. We'll take a question here with Kuvan Beck. All right, so Kuvan Beck, are you ready? Let's see if we can get a hold of this volunteer, and then we can jump to the next question. Okay. I'm always taking different people at different times, and I'm trying to remember different people from different classes as well, everyone. So that's my goal here. And again, we're going to even do some raffles for our volunteers in the coming weeks. So let's see if Kiwan Speck is ready. I'm not sure. I'm always sending a message first just to make sure that the person's still online, and I don't think they are, so I don't know if we're going to learn the pronunciation of this incredible name today. Okay, let me reach out to Trin. Let's see if Trin is here. So, hi, Trin. Would you like to volunteer? And when you're using this interface on our website, this is how you should do it. So maybe first just write a message and then do an audio call. And after you've done a bit of audio calling, if you feel comfortable, you can do a video chat as well. Okay, all right, here we go. Hello, Trin.
Hello again. You remember me?
Yeah, I kind of, your name kind of rings a bell. I was like, I think I've spoken to Trin before, so you're kind of lucky because I'm always trying to find new people, Trin. But
Yeah, happy to see you again. How's your voice going?
my voice is way better. I have just a very slight little cough left. It's the end of this bad cold, but my voice is definitely back, and I think that's I have to adjust my microphone because it's still very sensitive from before. Okay, so Trin, great to have you back. Are you ready for a question?
Yeah, I want to see how my improvements.
Okay, all right, Trin, let's check that out. Okay, so here we go. Do you like to travel? Why or why not?
Unfortunately, I'm kind of a person who would avoid holidays. And one of the reasons why is that the pandemic is still going insane around the globe. And personally, I do not want to get involved to uh, countries and get sick because people are trying to control the chaos and I don't want to get involved into it. Yeah, it's kind of a thing that I want to avoid.
Okay. All right, Chin. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, I would give you a band 6.5 comfortably. Your fluency is really good. It's like a band 8, but you're making some awkward mistakes, and your answer is a little bit, I don't want to say confusing, but it's
I'm kind of overgoing.
yeah, you're over speaking for sure. So you're repeating yourself, definitely. I want to try something fun here. So I'm going to ask you this question one more time, Trin. And instead of answering it negatively, like you don't like to travel, I'd like you to answer it positively. So I want you to answer it from the perspective of you like to travel. So even if you don't like to, just pretend that you do, and give me an answer that you like to travel, and then tell me why you like to travel, and give me an example of traveling. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna take the opposite. You're gonna play it's called the devil's advocate. Okay, so you're gonna play the devil's advocate. This is an expression in English meaning that you're going to take the opposite side of what you believe, or the opposite argument, just to create the debate. Okay, so play the devil's advocate. Okay, so you're going to play the devil's advocate here, and you're going to answer from the perspective of you like to travel. Okay, here we go. So one more time, the question. Do you like to travel? Why or why not?
Yes, I love to travel. As a person like me who wants to talk with people, communicating with people, I'm kind of an open person. So traveling is something that is very important factor for me because it's a student and I need to speak with other native speakers in order to improve my fluency as well for my IELTS speaking.
Okay. All right, very good. So in a nutshell, Trent, that was actually a better answer. Okay, you used more vocabulary. You gave me more information. You had less repetition in your response. So where your first answer was definitely closer to a band 6.5, your second answer was much closer to a 7, maybe even a 7.5. And I bet that our viewers can feel that as well. Okay, there was one missing element in both of your answers, which is the example, right? So
Yeah.
you could say like, last week, I traveled to Laos, and I used English for 2 weeks. It was great. Okay, so you can include that kind of a smooth example to bump up your score a bit. But the point that I wanted to make here, to get you to play the devil's advocate, is that it's usually easier to answer in the positive, right? Like, I like to travel because I love exploring new countries, trying out different types of foods, and seeing new places. Last year, I visited India. It was fantastic to try the local curry dishes and visit the Taj Mahal. And then, boom, you're up in that band 9 category. Okay.
I could feel the restrictions when I do a pessimistic answer. I feel the restriction of ideas, and I can't just say more.
That's just it, exactly. So when we have this, I don't necessarily want to say pessimistic, but definitely a negative approach. So when we have a negative approach to our ideas, oftentimes when we're negative about a certain situation or about a certain activity, we're not absolutely clear on why we're negative. We just are negative. We don't like it for some reason, but oftentimes we don't really digress or think too much about why we don't really like it. We just know that we don't like it. We have to really think about why we don't like it to explain it. But when we like an activity, or when we like something, we almost naturally know the reason why we like it. Like, I love ice cream because of its cold texture and its sweet, fruity flavor. I don't like spinach because, and it's like, well, why don't I like spinach? Well, because it's got a strange kind of vegetable, bitter flavor. It's much more difficult to explain, right? So positive is, it's just a human nature that positive is easier to explain, okay? So stick to the positive side, all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, Trent, I'm going to read the question again. I'm going to give an answer, or I'm going to copy your positive answer, and then try it one more time, okay? So here we go. Do you like to travel? Why or why not? Yes, I love to travel. As a person who wants to talk to other people, traveling is important for me to improve my English, to practice that while I'm abroad, and also to explore other cultures. I visited New York last year. It was a fantastic chance to improve my vocabulary, my grammar, and I learned lots about Central Park. Okay, so here we go. Do you like to travel? Why or why not?
Yes, I love to travel. As a person like me who wants to communicate with people and talk with people, I'm kind of an open person. So traveling is a very important factor for me. In order to improve my fluency in speaking IELTS, just like last year, I've gone to a trip where I got a chance to speak with a bunch of celebrities and famous people, and it was a well of a time for me.
Okay, that's great. Tran, that was good. I like how you've got the example in. So you're like, okay, I got to get the example. I got to get the example. Try to make your example specific. So just practice really coming up with these kind of made up specific examples, like what I'm doing. Like, I traveled to India. I didn't actually travel to India recently. I traveled to New York. I haven't been to New York. So just practice making up these kind of specific examples, okay? And that will help you to bump your score even higher, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Trent, keep it up. Keep up the practice. You're on the right track. You just need to go forward and you'll do awesome. Thank you so much for volunteering again. So that was Trent, everybody. Give him a nice round of applause and maybe some thumbs up. Encourage each other to practice. Build your confidence. Thank you, Trent.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay, so that was Tran. All right, we'll take one more person for the day. Unkit is saying, call me, call me, call me. I'm seeing lots of call me's. Okay. Let me see if we can find one more person here. We have Angel, Stefan or Steven. There's Parth, Mirza. Okay, let me see. I think... Okay, so Quivon Beck had a technical problem. Let's see if I can reach out to him again. Are you ready? I'm really curious on how to pronounce this name, everybody, so I got to try one more time with Quivon Beck. Let's see if, I'm guessing it's a he. Let's see if he is ready. So, sure. Okay. All right. Here we go. Hello, how are you?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Very fine, thanks.
Awesome. And my first question is, how do you pronounce that incredibly complex name that you have?
My name is Kuan Chvik.
Kuan Shbek. Okay, I would have never guessed that. Kuan. So the V is
Yeah,
kind of silent.
I'm from Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan. Kuan Shbek. All
My
right.
my
Wonderful name.
my name means that happiness.
Happiness. It's a great name. Kuan Shbek. All right. Okay, Kuan Shbek. So let's do a practice question. I'll give you some feedback and some analysis. Does that sound good?
Okay.
All right. Okay, so, and I guess Uzbekistan is very cold right now. I remember last week somebody was telling me it was like -4, -5.
Yes, you're right.
All right. Okay, so here we go. So you're sitting in the IELTS exam. You're comfortable, you're confident, so just give me a nice full sentence answer, explanation, and don't forget that example, okay? Here we go. What do you need to do when you're preparing for travel?
I think the first thing that I have to do while in the preparation period of my traveling, I have to pack everything that I need basically into my backpack because it gives me a chance to feel freely during my travel trip.
Give me an example. Kuanchbek, give me an example.
As it happened last summer, it was a very great chance for me to feel the real freedom because I have taken everything that I need for my trip, which I went to Kazakhstan.
Okay. All right. Okay, so that would be about a band 6, I would say, comfortably. Okay. But you can definitely improve your score, and you can improve it very, very quickly. There's one critical mistake that you're making in your answer. Do you know what that is? So there's one
No,
critical mistake.
unfortunately.
Let me reflect your answer, and then you might be able to guess it. Okay. So here's the question. What do you need to do when you're preparing for travel? I think the first thing I have to do while in the preparation period of my traveling, I have to pack everything into my backpack because it gives me a chance to feel freely. As it happened last summer when I was on a trip, I've taken everything for my trip to Kazakhstan.
Yeah, I had to say that I took everything.
Okay, yeah, so there's some slight grammatical mistakes, but that's not actually where you can easily get some more band scores. So if you fix your grammar, you'll get better band scores for sure. Fixing grammar can take quite a long time, like it can take weeks and months to improve grammar significantly. But there's one part of your communication that you can actually fix very quickly to improve your score. Anybody know what that is? So can anybody help us out here? So what could we do differently in this answer to just really quickly improve by like a half a band or even a full band score? Shivam says present continuous. It's not actually to do with grammar. Okay. So what is it? How can I do it? Does anybody have an idea? I'm looking at the chat here, looking to see if somebody comes up with it. Yeah, Sha'ab Hunter is right. So Sha'ab Hunter says, give a specific answer. Okay, you're not actually answering the question specifically. So here are the big no-no danger words, okay? And these are the words that you have to eliminate from your responses. The word thing, okay? The word everything. And you use the word everything at least twice, but maybe even more. Okay, these kinds of words are very dangerous, and they will have a very negative impact on your score. Even if you have very fluent, very good grammar, you will not get full marks. You'll get like a 7 or a 7.5. Even if you're a native speaker and you use this kind of language, you'll get a 7.5 because you're not giving specific, what's called specific, accurate, coherent answers. Okay. So let's fix this. So instead of saying I think the first item I have to do while in preparation for my traveling is to pack my passport. Okay, then I need to think of packing money, clothes, and what else do you need to pack? Overnight kit. I'll teach this word to everybody. An overnight kit is what has your toothbrush in it, maybe some hand cream, some deodorant, and what you use to kind of clean yourself or get yourself ready. Okay, that's usually your overnight kit. Okay, so you want to be specific, right? Now, this is asking you what is the first thing you need to do when you're preparing for travel, right? So you have to make sure that you packed everything. Then you have to make sure that you booked your flight and you booked your lodging or your hotel, okay? So I would answer this question a
Okay.
little bit differently. I would say something like, I think the first item I have to do while in preparation for my travel is to pack my passport, and I need to think of taking money, packing clothes, and my overnight kit. Also, I have to make sure I booked my travel tickets and accommodations. Okay, and then you can say something like, and you can go right into your example. So you can just say, for my trip to Kazakhstan, I did that. I did all this, and it went smoothly. Okay, and then you have a good answer. So let me read the question and the answer again, and then just repeat after me, okay? So here we go. What do you need to do when preparing for travel? I think the first item I have to do while in preparation for my traveling is to pack my passport. Then I need to think of taking money, packing clothes, my overnight kit. Also, I have to make sure I book my travel tickets and accommodations. For my trip to Kazakhstan, I did all this and it went smoothly. Okay, here we go again. So what do you need to do when preparing for travel? Go for it.
I think that the first item that I have to take is my passport, and I need to book my flight and accommodation, and I have to pack my clothes and overnight kits. As it happened while I was traveling to Kazakhstan, uh, this everything went smoothly.
Exactly. Very good. So that was a great answer. Now, of course, there your fluency got stuck a little bit, and it got stuck a bit because you're copying what I'm saying, right? So it's not your own thoughts, which of course decreases fluency. But the information was fantastic. So that information was much, much better for this question than saying things and everything, where at the end of it, the examiner kind of goes, okay, so what are you actually doing? Like, what is everything? You can't expect the examiner to guess those ideas, okay? You have to tell the examiner. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much for volunteering, and thank you so much for sharing your happy name with us. That's fantastic. So that's
Thanks, sir, for giving me an opportunity.
you
And
are
I'm
most
going to
welcome.
take my exam on Sunday.
Good luck on your exam on Sunday. Okay, everybody. Wish Kuwon Beck good luck for his exam this Sunday, and keep practicing this, Kuwon Beck. So be specific with your answers. Use the question and then give specific answers. Remember your examples. Thank you so much, and again, good luck on the exam.
Thanks, sir.
Bye-bye. Okay, everybody, so that is all the time for today, but worry not, because we have speaking part 2 and we have speaking part 3 coming up tomorrow. So we're going to take lots more volunteers. And by the way, everyone, if you enjoyed this speaking, you can use this on our website. And if you want to book an IELTS speaking interview practice with me that takes 30 minutes for a full interview session with feedback, you can click on that yellow speaking interview practice button, okay? And that's, of course, a paid service, but it's well worth it. You can find all your flaws and work on your weaknesses, so you can book by clicking the speaking interview practice. All right, everyone. And then, of course, on General IELTS, gltshelp.com, you have the same functions, the same interface. So both of those websites connect with each other for this speaking component, for the chat component. So check out our websites. Join the premium package. It's well worth it. The premium package,
Welcome
of course,
to Academic
is
IELTS Success. World leaders in IELTS skills and strategies
the
to
premium
score
package,
over
of
7.
course,
I got 7.5.
is available when you click that red button that's just above my head there. There we go. Got that under control. And then that's it for today, everyone. So thank you so much to all of our participants, to all of our volunteers. A special thank you. Thank you to our chat moderator, Carolina, and thank you to our members for your support. I hope all of you have an awesome rest of your day, and I hope to see all of you back here tomorrow for some more speaking practice for part 2 and part 3 with me. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from Victoria for now, but I'll definitely be back within 24 hours. Much love to all of you wherever you are in this beautiful world. Bye for now.